The galaxy had long forgotten Earth. To most species, it was a bedtime story told to younglings, a myth of violent, brilliant creatures who once walked among the stars. Then one night, in a silent corner of the Orion sector, a signal was heard. It was brief, coded, human. Captain Varen of the Threx Dominion stared at the waveform. Impossible, she whispered. The signal carried an ancient Terran encryption patterns, something unseen for thousands of cycles. The crew laughed nervously, claiming it was an echo or debris transmission. But deep inside, Varen felt something old awakened. Fear. Scanners confirmed the impossible. An energy spike near the Perseus Rift. Massive gravitational distortion. No known ship could move like that. Varen ordered a visual feed, and then she saw it. A colossal warship, black as night, sliding out of warped space. Its hull bore strange angular letters UNSC. The ship was silent, its design alien yet oddly purposeful. Blue engines flickered, and the vacuum trembled. "Contact them," she ordered. No reply. The ship simply watched, scanning, calculating. Its presence alone sent static through every sensor in range. Then another appeared. And another. The Threx fleet began to pull back. Varen could feel her heartbeat hammering through the control suit. These weren't ghosts. These were humans. After a long silence, the comms crackled alive. A calm voice spoke in Galactic Standard. "This is Admiral Hayes of Earth Command. We're back." The words echoed through every system like thunder. Legends had come alive. The galaxy wasn't ready for what came next. The bridge of Varen's flagship felt smaller with that human voice hanging in the air. No one moved. Even the air scrubbers seemed to hush themselves. On the main screen, the lead human warship turned slightly, as if giving them its full attention. Its weapons were not powered, but nobody believed it was unarmed. "Respond," Varen said at last. Her throat felt dry. Formal greeting. No mention of fear. No mention of legends. The comms officer swallowed. "Channel open." "This is Captain Varen of the Threx Dominion Exploration Fleet," she said. "We believed your world lost. Your return was not expected." There was a short pause. Then Hayes answered, steady and almost gentle. "We didn't expect to come back either, but the galaxy has been busy in our absence." The words carried a weight Varen couldn't unpack. She saw flickers of motion along the human hull-docking clamps, hidden bays, smaller craft ready to launch. Every design choice said the same thing. This ship was built by a species that had learned from too many wars. "What are your intentions in Threx space?" she asked. "Depends," Hayes replied. "Last time we checked the wider map, certain empires were enslaving weaker species. Burning out planets? Rewriting history? You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, Captain Varen." Her stomach twisted. The Dominion had done all of that and more. "But under orders. Always under orders. We are stabilizing the region," she said carefully. Another pause. Then a different voice came onto the channel, lower, with a rough edge. "Ma'am, this is Commander Ruiz. Stabilizing sounds a lot like occupying where we're from." On the bridge, one of Varen's junior officers whispered, "They talk like they're not afraid of us at all." Varen watched the silent human fleet. She realized, with a cold clarity, that they weren't. The human fleet held its position near the rift. Silent and still, like predators observing from the dark. Captain Varen's sensors painted their hulls in cold blue light, black metal giants with strange markings. Each one carrying a story older than her empire. She didn't understand how they had returned. Earth was supposed to be gone, burned, broken, erased. Yet here they were, calm and deliberate. That was the most terrifying part. In her quarters, Varen reviewed the old Dominion records, half-myths, and whispers. Humans were reckless, dangerous, unstoppable when provoked. She scrolled through the archived footage, grainy images of human soldiers on alien soil, fighting with brutal precision, laughing even as explosions tore through the skies. She stopped watching when her hands began to shake. A message request flashed on her console. From Admiral Hayes. Against her better judgment, she accepted. The screen lit up with the face of an aging human, gray streaks in his beard. Eyes sharp as ice. Captain Varen, he said quietly, you're not our enemy. Not yet. Then why bring a fleet? She asked. Because someone out here has been erasing our past, Hayes replied. We intend to fix that. Varen wanted to argue, but the Dominion's shadow loomed behind her. The High Council wouldn't allow humans to roam free. They would send their armadas, their execution fleets. You don't understand, she said. If you stay here, they'll come for you. Hayes gave a faint smile. Then let them come. We've been running long enough. The connection cut. Outside her viewport, the stars rippled, more human ships emerging from the fold, hundreds of them. The myth was no longer a whisper. It was a storm about to break. The Dominion did not take long to answer. Within 2 cycles, the outer edges of the Perseus Rift lit up with new contacts. Varen stood on the bridge as icons bloomed across the tactical display cruisers, carriers, siege platforms. A full suppression armada. They had not come to talk. High Council, fleet identifying, the sensor officer reported. His voice trembled. Flagship, Sovereign Spear. Varen's chest tightened. The Sovereign Spear meant only one thing: total pacification. Any system that saw it either bent the knee or vanished from the map. An encrypted directive arrived. Stamped with the Council's seal, she opened it, read, then read again. Hoping the words would change. Interdict human vessels. Seize one for study. Eliminate all resistance. Erase local records. Her hands curled into fists. The humans were watching, holding position between the rift and the arriving armada, like a wall drawn in the void. They did not move to retreat. Their formation tightened instead. Lines of warships locking into place. Captain, her first officer, whispered, if we stand with the humans, we'll be branded traitors. Our families, I know, she said, too quickly. Another channel request appeared. Admiral Hayes, again. She accepted, jaw clenched. Your presence has triggered a suppression armada, she said. If you run now, you might survive. Hayes shook his head. We didn't come back just to run. How many civilians are in your sector, Captain? Billions, she replied, before she could stop herself. Then this is where we make our stand, Hayes said quietly. We won't fire first. But we won't be erased again. The channel closed. Varen stared at the coming storm on her display. Dominion ships in massive waves. Human warships like dark knives in their path. For the first time in her career, she wondered which side of history she was on. The first shot came from the Dominion. A massive lance of plasma tore through the black, bright as a newborn star. It hit a human cruiser square in the Hullette when the light cleared. The ship was still there, shields shimmering, engines roaring to life. Then the humans answered. The response wasn't rage. It was precision. Silent, methodical, like an ancient orchestra tuned for destruction. Kinetic rounds streaked across the stars, invisible until they struck. Dominion battleships exploded in cold silence, one after another. Before their sensors could even track the incoming fire, Varen gripped the railing, her throat tightening. The humans weren't just fighting, they were adapting. Every volley smarter, faster, cleaner. It was like watching evolution happen in seconds. Captain, her officer gasped. They're breaking through the center. Dominion losses at 70%. Her console flickered with emergency orders. The High Council demanded immediate retreat, but communications were chaos. The fleet was collapsing. On her main screen, Admiral Hayes's flagship glided forward, engines flaring white-blue. It cut through debris like a blade through mist. Hayes opened a general channel. This isn't vengeance, he said, voice calm but cold. This is a reminder. You tried to erase us. You failed. The Dominion flagship Sovereign Spear turned all its guns toward the human-led ship. A final desperate strike, before it could fire. A formation of smaller human craft emerged, sleek arrow-shaped fighters that moved like thought itself. They weaved between plasma bursts, struck the flagship's core, and vanished into the void. The Sovereign Spear imploded, light folding inward. Silence followed. Varen could only whisper, "What kind of beings fight like that?" No one answered. The galaxy had just learned that legends bleed on humans were still very real. When the last Dominion ship jumped away, the battlefield went quiet. Wreckage drifted like frozen confetti, chunks of metal and shattered hulls turning slowly in the dark. Emergency beacons blinked from crippled vessels, most of them Threx. Not human. Captain Varen stood on her bridge, watching the human fleet power down its main batteries. They didn't chase the retreating ships. They didn't fire on the wounded. They simply held position, like guardians at a broken gate. A direct hail came in. Admiral Hayes, again. His face looked older now, lit by status screens and tired eyes. Captain Varen, he said, we're picking up thousands of distress signals from your side. Civilians, medical ships, refugees, your command structure is gone. What will you do? She looked at the shattered icons on her display, at the scattered survivors who had followed orders without a choice. Slowly, she removed the Dominion rank sigil from her collar and set it on the console. I think, she said, voice low but steady, I will stop pretending this is peace. Transmit on all channels, Varen ordered her crew. This is Captain Varen of the former Threx Dominion fleet. Effective now, my ships will render aid to any vessel in need. Human or Threx, we will not fire first. We will not erase history. Her officers stared at her, then, one by one, straightened. On the main screen, the human warships shifted formation, smaller craft peeling away like flocks of steel birds toward the wounded. Welcome to the hard side of hope. Captain, Hayes said quietly, Earth doesn't do easy endings. Varen exhaled, feeling awake in a way she never had. Legends, she realized, were not meant to stay in stories. Sometimes, they came back to demand a better future together.